Hey, what's up, everybody? So this next episode is real interesting because all this Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trials going on. We talk about liars, loyalty, just a little chit chat on those types of topics. So really interesting. Don't miss it. Check it out.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Yamatodamashii podcast. Enson, I know you've been watching a lot of this Johnny Depp Amber Heard stuff, and I thought today we do something related to these lies, potential lies that keep going about.
Alleged lies.
Alleged. So I don't know, before we get into maybe some hit home and see, where you've encountered liars and stuff like that. But I guess right off the bat, I mean, what's your impression of the trial that you've seen? Obviously, as we record this, they haven't announced the decision yet, and maybe they will by the time this gets uploaded. But
I'm just kind of bummed that it's over, man. That was like I was looking forward to every day waking up and getting updated on what's going on, man. It was exciting for me, man.
Yeah. My wife has been watching it nonstop, so I've kind of seen it by default. But it is pretty compelling, right? Like when you see someone like her on the stand, you're like, what? How did she answer that way?
Well, you know what's real crazy is that I had a non-biased eye when I first started watching it. In fact, I actually had a biased eye towards Amber Heard because long ago I met Johnny Depp before in Hawaii, one of the events in Hawaii.
No way.
I remember people, I remember seeing him. I remember seeing him in like the Hollywood magazines, and I kind of recognized him, but I didn't really recall the name. But somebody told me, "Oh, that's Johnny Depp," and I was like, "Oh, it is Johnny Depp." Okay. And I remember looking at him. I didn't really even talk to him at all, but I just met him in the back where he was there, and we were there, and he was like right next to me. I remember looking at him, and I didn't have a good image of him because he was like, I don't know if he was high or drunk, and he was wearing like real ragged, like almost like a hippie type of clothes.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't really. I mean, you think of a Hollywood star being real, dressed really nice, real respectful, but he was like ragged with a like weird ass hat on, and he had some weird color hair and shit. So I remember thinking Johnny Depp was like, wow, this guy's like, is that guy okay or what? He's like a druggie. Like, I kind of put it off like Hollywood, they all do cocaine and do drugs, So well, I didn't really have a very good image of him. And when I heard about the trial, I wasn't really interested in it because I was like, oh shit, I don't know if I want to see a trial between, especially it's like a defamation case. It's kind of boring, And then I started watching it, and it's amazing how my whole view changed. When I saw Johnny's interview, and then I saw Amber's interview, and then it was like, I don't know if it's the level of the lawyers, but it was obvious that she was being dishonest. Yeah. And I'm sure Johnny told a few lies here and there too, but I almost felt my judgment was, well, Johnny's a way more trustworthy and more honest guy than her. I mean, 99% of the people in the world will probably be more honest than her. So
yeah, it's kind of
it's pretty obvious.
And it just looks like she's putting on a performance, and that's kind of how they ended the closing statement, right? It's like the performance of her life. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those where it really rubs you the wrong way when you see someone like that clearly lying, and playing games when they ask for the evidence, and she'd be like, "Oh, I submitted that," and it's like, "Oh, but it's not in the case." It's like, I don't know. I gave it to my lawyers.
She puts it's a typical narcissist. She puts the fault on everybody else.
Yeah.
Everything. That picture was the like everyone else is lying but her.
Yeah.
Even that manager at the trailer park that they stayed at, she goes, I don't know who he is. Like, Like she has like the craziest thing. Even when they say, "Oh, you're saying so and so is lying," she won't admit. She'll say he's incorrect, or
Mhm.
yeah, she doesn't say. She doesn't use that word lie. The
Yeah.
worst part was the donation and the pledging.
Oh man.
That was
It's-
like that was like almost, if I had hair, I'd probably be pulling some of it out because it was so frustrating. It's like what? And I don't know. I personally felt like shit. Why didn't Camille just corner her more? But I don't know. I'm wondering if that's her play. Yeah, like she already
Mm,
probably knew it was obvious what she's doing, and she's
yeah.
lying. And I think maybe she felt she did enough for the jury to see. Yeah. And even that part about her talking and looking at the jury every single time, that was annoying, man. That was annoying.
So many like funny stuff on the internet about her, and
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah.
just
I
the
mean,
content that's coming out.
it's pretty crazy to see the verdict, man. Because if Johnny Depp doesn't win this verdict, man, I think a lot of people are going to lose faith in the judicial course.
Yeah, definitely. It's
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I don't know, just something about her. I think because domestic abuse is such a like fine line of a topic, right? Where like you could ruin someone's life if it's not true with allegations like that. And that's exactly what she went out and tried to do with him. And to actually see something like that unravel and see how what she's saying was utter bullshit. There's no evidence to back it up. It's yeah, it's fascinating, and also just to hear about like those sort of like celebrity lives, like all the drugs they did, the shits on the bed, like the different
yeah, and
stuff
then
that comes out
the
of this
thing about
story.
even like she claims that she got abused. When you listen to all the recordings that they had, she does
Yeah,
not act like somebody that's afraid of Johnny Depp.
no, not at all.
I just on the way home from training tonight, I just listened to one that, after she got a TRO on him,
Hmm.
she came from her side to meet up with him, and she recorded this, so she knew she was recording. He didn't know,
Wow.
but man, you listen to the recording, man. It's like she's the aggressor. She's screaming at him. He's not raising his voice. He will raise it up to a point where he gets so frustrated, but it's like, how can anyone not see that she is not the one that's being abused? She's the
Mm.
abuser. It's like super obvious, man.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. Like we say, maybe by the time this airs, the decision might be out there. But let's see what happens. But I guess I'm curious, right? Because one of the most compelling things about always doing this podcast is you are always 100% authentic. Everything you say is this is how it happened. This is the best of my recollection of these events back in the day, and you always give it as honest as you can. So I'm curious. Have you had situations like that where you're surrounded by people that are lying like directly to you?
Well, lying is one of my biggest pet peeves. And it's one of those things that when I get lied to, it's hard to have a relationship with someone already after that. I mean, lies is something, I mean, the for me, I believe in giving second chances, but what happens when someone lies, you can lie. I mean, I've lied before because I was scared or I didn't want my parents to know. I've lied before. So, you know, one thing is lying, and then the second thing is lying and not admitting that you lied, not owning up to it. And that when that happens, I have no patience for that.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's happened to me before where they've lied to me, and then I found out about the lie and confronted them with the lie. There's some people that actually started crying, grown men crying and admitting that they've lied. And there's some that just don't admit it. And obviously the ones that have admit it is, back in the day, I mean, it was hands on, yeah.
Mm.
Nowadays, of course, everyone goes to the police now. So if something happens like that now, hopefully it won't be hands on. But for example, is that Yakuza incident that happened like 5 days ago. Um, Apparently the guy, it was funny because one of the younger guy who was taking the video, he apologized. He blamed the top guy, everything, and then I was actually pretty nice to him. So I kind of stayed back and I told him, hey, if you're actually telling the truth and this guy's putting you under the bus, you should look at your relationship with him. And he goes, oh yeah, that's right, yeah. So I actually wanted to help him because I wanted to go up and tell him that you're being thrown under the bus now. If you want to speak your side, come down now. But he was gone already. Apparently, from what I heard, I didn't see the video yet, but from what I heard today, he started talking shit about me, like who the fuck is Enson and Inoue and that kind of stuff. So it's amazing. For me, it's amazing how there's lies are horrible, but there's so many levels of liars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like guys like him is probably like the worst level where they lie out of their teeth. I mean, they know what happened, but to save face, they'll lie and lie and lie and lie until they're confronted, and then they'll apologize. So their thing is apologize when they're close, and when they're far, they lie. So that guy's like a whole new level. I mean, for me right now, it's like I think about it, and 95% of me is laughing, but there is a 5% in me that think like, oh, I wish I could just get my hands on the guy, and I don't need any legal troubles. I'm out of the that scene, so I'd rather forget it. But like I always say is whenever I had people fuck me over like that, I've never went looking for anyone, but for some reason karma always brings their path across my path. So this guy is probably going to cross my path someday, and hopefully I can be in the right environment or be on the right people that, I could either just ignore him, or if I have to do something, at least it'll be something smart where he can't go to the authorities. I mean, if he didn't go to the authorities, my whole choice right now would be, I'm not that bigger person yet. I'd like to grab him. I'd like to grab him and have him for a whole day in a room, just me and him. But that probably won't happen. So just he's like the worst type of liar, man. I mean, have you ever had anyone like that just totally lies through their teeth?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I have. I mean, it was a long time ago, to be fair, because I think after that moment where someone that I thought was quite a close friend, you realize that they're full of shit and they're just lying, and everything they say is a lie. I just completely sort of phase that person out, distance away from them. And just surrounding myself with people that I really trust, that are super loyal, that, I would easily say are my best friends, and I just feel life is so much more, less stressful when you've got the right people around you, right? It doesn't matter. You can do whatever. You just feel comfortable.
You know what's real hard though? I don't know if you ever had this experience before, but you have someone who you consider a brother and someone that you would stand side by side with them in any type of war, and then you find out that they've lied to you.
Shit.
That's real disappointing. I mean,
Yeah,
it almost makes me kick myself in the ass. Like I would have died for this guy like a couple of years ago, and now it's like, dude, he just lied to me. And he lied to me to save his ass, or kept a secret from me. That's something that I should know. And before I used to had the mindset that if you lie to me, if you show disloyalty, for me, loyalty is not something that you can be loyal sometimes, or if it's not life and death, I'll be loyal to you. No, I mean, you either loyal or not. There's no such thing as I'm 90% loyal to you. It's either you're 100 or you're 0%. And I always felt like loyalty was something that everyone understood. And anyone who couldn't be loyal is someone that I didn't want to associate with. And I didn't consider them a friend or even an acquaintance. And there were times when I've had guys that I called really close and they lied to me, and I cut them. There's a Yakuza guy in Niigata that lied to me. He wanted to do some illegal business with me. I flew someone in to work with him. Waited for him, never picked me up. The guy's visa was run, tourist visa. There's only 3 months in Japan. So it was running out, had to send him back. He wanted him over again. We called him back like twice. Never did do anything. So I was pissed off. I totally pretty much told him off and told him that I don't want to deal with him. He calls me back apologizing, saying that he's going to penalize himself. And I'm pretty much done with him, but I'm thinking, okay, if you're going to penalize yourself, let me see what you can do. It doesn't mean I need to forgive you.
Mm-hmm.
So I told him, yeah, he put it was a $3,000 or $8,000 penalty on himself. So okay, he started transferring money. He couldn't do all the 8,000 at once, so he sent 2,000. I said okay, and I didn't really like ask him when are you gonna pay. Nothing. I just said okay, you're sending 2,000. Okay, he said I have 6,000 more. Okay, cool. The next thing I know, he calls me back. I'm gonna send you another 2. Okay, he sends me another 2. Then all of a sudden he's supposed to pay in increments of 2,000. All of a sudden it's only 1,000. Oh, sorry, next month I'll catch up again. And then after that, he paid. He actually paid 5,000 back. Had 3,000 more to pay, and kept changing dates on me to a point where I still have the chat in my Facebook. His last words to me was, I'll give you my life. I'll bet you. I'll promise my life that I'll pay you back."
Wow.
He disappeared and hasn't come back.
Right.
And it's been, I don't know how long it's been, man. It's been pretty long. It's been like 6 or 7 years now. He still has me on his Facebook page. Yep. And, I mean, for me, I felt betrayed. He lied to me. He kind of promised things that didn't keep his promise. My whole thing was I wanted to, go find him. He runs a town in Niigata called Kashiwazaki. And I was thinking of going to his town, creating problems, so he would have to come out and stop the problem. And then I wanted to beat him up and then make him, get in the seiza position where you just sit on your knees and then make him bow down and apologize in front of the town he runs, which would make him lose face. Yeah, so I mean, I had all that plans and all these things, and it just came to a point where it's like, you know what? It's not even worth it. So, he's still there. He's still, still has me on his Facebook. I mean, he's part of the Yamaguchi Gumi. His name is Igarashi. He's a little prick. And I mean, I'll send you a picture of his Facebook so you can post it or whatever.
All
I'm
right.
cool with that. Yeah. So he's a whole different story, but I don't know why I went off to that story. But I was talking about the liars, lying and loyalty, and where I used to just cut people like that, yeah, and just like not disassociate with them. But what I've come to realize in the last couple years is that the loyalty I give to people I call family is the same loyalty I demand. But the loyalty I give is loyalty that will never be broken, even if it meant death. So for me to expect everybody that I close to have that type of loyalty is almost unrealistic. A lot of people in the Yamatodamashii Ichizoku, they have that kind of loyalty. But when one of them doesn't show me that loyalty, I shouldn't bring it against them. I shouldn't, cut them out and say, you're a fucking douche. I don't want to do nothing to you, which I've been doing. What I come to understand is that if they can't keep that type of loyalty that I demand, because it's such a high demand, they're not bad, they're normal. But I want to associate myself with people that are above normal, people that have loyalty that overcomes any type of situation, loyalty that overcomes any type of fear you might have in the situation. Loyalty should be number one. You should have enough integrity that you might save your life, or it might save a big problem by lying, but you're destroying your integrity, something that you can never get back. So Yeah, like I've had some situations like that already, that I've cut guys that I've known for like 10 to 15 years, call them brothers.
Wow. Yeah.
I like they come over to my house, spend the night. I would take them around, treat them dinners, go over it, everything. My shirt is your shirt, my house is your house, And I got betrayed by them. And I 5 years ago, I've cut that person, or a bunch of those people.
Mhm.
But as I'm thinking about it, when I had a talk with Sarah about it, saying, that I cannot expect people to go by that high standards of loyalty. Majority of the people can't. And because you can, it doesn't mean you're bad. It just means that you're not one of the special ones that I want to be close to. So I've changed my whole idea, like those guys that I thought I got betrayed by. It doesn't mean they become an enemy or someone that I don't want to associate with. They become someone that I just know that I will not die for, and I will control the depth of my relationship with them.
Mhm.
But as far as their friends, I mean, I'll say hi, shake their hand, say what's up, how you been, But if they require me to help them in a situation that I might have to sacrifice myself, that's totally out of the question.
Mhm.
So it's where I have to draw a line on how deep my association is with these people. And so it kind of makes it better, because I don't feel like I dislike this person, or I want nothing to do with him. Fuck him. I don't want to do anything with him. It's not like that. I mean, if I'm free and they want me to come by for some type of anniversary or something, which is actually happening right now. And by saying that, I might say I give away who I'm talking about. But they want me to come to anniversary. Before I actually realized that the loyalty I demand is like pretty high standard loyalty. Before I realized that, I would have said, "Fuck that! I want nothing to do with him."
Mhm.
But now it's like, he's not bad, man. He's normal. Just in my life right now, I don't want to associate with normal people,
Mhm.
because my association with people isn't at a normal level. It's an elite level. I would stand in war with you, side by side, no questions asked. And if you're not willing to do that for me, then we can just be friends. So
Mhm.
I, as I wanted to cut him, and I did actually cut him out. I've rethought everything, and I think it's important for a man to be able to realize his mistakes and make adjustments to the mistakes that he makes. And I'm overlooking all those things, and if it's something that they want me to come to, I mean, I don't know if it's a hard thing for them to ask me because of the situation that happened. But I've heard it through a grapevine, and I just let the person know that let me know. I said, I'll go, but they at least got to ask me in person. Yeah, they got to send a message directly to me.
Mhm.
So we'll see if it comes. If it doesn't, then that's all right. It's okay then. But yeah, the lies and loyalty, man, is. I think everyone has lied in their past,
Mhm.
but as you get older, yeah, the lies are a lot more deep, and there's more consequences to the lies, and there's more disloyalty you have to the lies that you're going to start doing. So I believe now, for me in my life now, is I think lies is something that I I'm proud to say that I don't do.
Yeah.
you know but yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
just
No, I get 100% what you're saying. And I think it's something especially that comes with age, right? Like, I think when I was a lot younger, maybe 10, 15 years ago, you kind of like exaggerate things maybe sometimes. I feel like when I was younger, you brag a bit more about different things and you try and say, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then as I got older, I think probably in 21, 22, I just started saying, fuck that. I don't want to be like that. I want people to recognize what I do rather than having to sort of show it. You know what I mean? So I totally get what you're saying. I think as you get older, you kind of, well, not everyone, right? But some people like yourself will sort of suss out the lies and make a decision on whether you need that in your life or not. So, but
I
yeah.
think I think I think it's a part about a lot of it have to do with wisdom.
Mm,
The older you get, the wiser you get. So
mm,
the associations you have, the depth of the associations, the reasons behind each relationship, the reasons behind having, cutting people out of your life, it gets a lot smarter. Back in the day, I was like, oh, you lied to me, fuck you, I'm done with you, but then when you put yourself in that guy's shoes and say, okay, he lied because of this, oh wow, you know what, that was actually a real hard situation. And I might have actually thought of, being that situation too. And maybe even I would have lied about it back in the day. So just because the guy's in his 40s, it doesn't mean that he should be able to think and have more wisdom, because wisdom has nothing to do with age. You can have a guy that's in his 30s that has a lot more wisdom than someone that's in their 50s. So, I mean, in a way, it's unfortunate for those people that don't understand that. It's almost the same thing that I talk about true happiness in life. There's a lot of people that don't understand that the true happiness is actually the happening of giving, not receiving. So those kind of things is kind of unfortunate that there's a lot of people that go through life, live and die in life without understanding what true loyalty is, what true happiness is, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I have this whole distorted image of what I'm saying, and I think I know what I'm talking about, but I feel confident that through all my experiences in life and through all my acquaintances and ups and downs, I think I have a good idea of what I want and what I want to associate with.
Yeah. No, I think you're on the money. I think and it reflects because you can see you're happy, you're confident, and yeah, it's because of that ideology, right? That it makes total sense. So, yeah, I'm with you 100%.
Yeah, I know what you're saying about exaggerating. I used to do that too. I don't know. Maybe, it's the insecurity of not feeling like your story is going to be interesting enough.
Yeah. Well, so when I was younger, right, I went to LA, and me and this guy, I won't say friend, I'll say a guy who I was friends with, and we would be like, yeah, we're gonna go make this film, we're gonna go do this, we're gonna go do that. You get wrapped up in LA, right? I don't know what you go there, and the vibe is very different. It's filled with actors, it's filled with people trying to project things, and I think that was the moment that sort of clicked for me. I was like, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be someone that has to tell you, oh, this is who I am, this is who I am. I'd rather people just say, oh, realize it for yourself without having to boast and brag and that sort of stuff. So yeah, I don't know. It's a funny one that sometimes when you're in that situation, it makes you think about it. But
yeah.
I'm still
crazy because I think the more that I'm like my stories that I have, like even the Yakuza story we told the last week, it's funny because I almost do the opposite now. I almost play it down to keep it real. I don't exaggerate it or anything. And I think it's because I do have crazy stories that I don't need to try and make it sound crazy. It's already crazy as it is. I mean, to a point, it's almost to a point where just being straight up on what happened, it's almost too crazy to be true. It's like, nah. So, yeah. I mean, I even like the being about being trying to tell who I am. I'm really happy and confident who I am, and I don't try to. I've had so many guys come up to me and tell me about how good they are in fighting, not knowing who I am.
Right.
I just came across a story on Facebook that came up in my memories. I was at in Hawaii selling bracelets, and I had this guy come up to me, and he kind of looked at me, I guess because I was looking at my ears and stuff, and he goes, "Are you a fighter?" And I like to blow that kind of shit off, yeah. So I said, "Oh no," I said, but I pointed at Sarah and I said, "She is." He goes, "Oh yeah." Well, he comes out from his side, goes, "I'm a second-degree brown belt jiu-jitsu." I'm like, "Whoa."
Wow.
I was like, "Oh," it kind of turned me off right. Like, "Whoa," he's telling me he's a second-degree black belt. Like, brown belt. And it's so funny because he says, whenever you talk second degree, you usually say black because, black is the only one that really distinguishes the difference in the degrees. Brown belt does only for school to let you know that, oh, you're second degree, you're almost getting your black, but it's not anything that you usually talk about. Like, I'm third degree purple, it's like people don't say that. when he told me that, I was kind of like, oh God. And so she starts telling me about he's a professional fighter and this kind of stuff. And he asked me, oh, do you fight? I was like, oh yeah, I fought here and there, but yeah, and I kind of blew it off. But this guy just, it was funny because I felt, I guess because I'm confident who I am, I didn't feel the desire to tell him who I was.
Yeah.
Kind of let him blow his shit and just kind of like, oh wow, that's pretty cool, man. Right on, man. Just kind of let him have his little chest puffing moment, and that's it. And the funny thing is, he was at that hotel that I was at for about a week, and I've seen him in and out, but he actually never did come back and talk to me. So I'm wondering if he found out who I was.
Maybe.
That's so funny though. Have guys like that, man.
Yeah. I bet you've encountered a lot. Say again.
We got to get George Soteropoulos on.
Yeah, definitely. We talked about that, right?
Yeah, he was there when we did the Bobby thing.
Yes.
And Bobby raised it. And also, there's a funny story that I'll just briefly tell you about because we'll talk about it when we get him on. I brought him to Thailand to train.
Mm-hmm.
And the way we did in Thailand is in the morning, there was a sports club across the street from my apartment, and we'd go do some weights and run on the treadmill. And then at the evening, we'd go to the gym and train at the gym. So that was our whole thing. Because the Thai guys would train in the morning and train at night, but I wanted to get the weights in because we're MMA, we're not Muay Thai, yeah. So we wanted to build the muscle too. So I used the mornings to get the weight training and the running in like that. And then in the evening we did the Muay Thai stuff. Well, anyway, there was a guy that was like a jiu-jitsu guy. And he started trying to talk to us about how good jiu-jitsu is. And me and George especially, George was really good. We started playing it off like we don't jiu-jitsu. What is that called? What is that called? And this guy totally bit the thing. And he was explaining to us what jiu-jitsu was. This guy was such a big talker. He eventually wanted to show us like submissions and triangles and stuff.
Oh no!
And he wanted to put us in it like that. So, I mean, it's a funny story because this guy actually was with me and George like the whole evening trying to show us what jiu-jitsu was, and we played like dumb, like we knew nothing what it was. Triangle, what that? Can you show me that? It was fucking hilarious, man.
Oh man, I can't wait to hear about that.
Yeah,
I can imagine. I could see you guys causing some chaos there. So
yeah. George, especially when you get to talk to George, he's a freaking funny guy, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bet. Yeah,
he's
got an awesome career as well.
Huh?
As in, he's got an awesome fight career as well, right? He had lots of cool moments.
Yeah, the guy was freaking super good, man.
Mm-hmm. So, final question, I guess, where we wrap these things up. So, let's just say I put you one-on-one in a room of someone like Amber Heard. What would you say to them? What would your advice be to them?
To Amber Heard?
Or someone that's a compulsive liar. Maybe not Amber Heard, but someone like
Amber Heard. My reaction would be unbelievable. And that's it.
Why'd you shit on his bed?
Yeah. Oh God. Well, it's a hard one because she's a level, one of the top tiers of lying.
Yeah, it's the final boss.
She'll lie to smash someone's life. She'll lie and act on it and cry and try and pull all the pity trips. She's you know how they say murder and premeditated murder? She's premeditated lying. She doesn't just lie. She does shit to make sure she can lie and make the lie look real, So I don't know. What would you say to Amber Heard? I really wouldn't have anything to say. I just despise that person that she is.
It's hard, right? It's almost like there's no coming back. When someone's spun themselves into that many lies, it's a bit like...
So bad. The only words I'd probably have is go jump in the fucking lake.
Yeah. I'd probably say just start again. Do you know what I mean? Like, just give up and start again. Like, because...
I would tell her, go get some professional help.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's quite a good one. But
get some professional help. You know what's
Yeah.
funny about that whole thing, and going back to our topic on lying like that. If you're not a smart person, don't lie.
Yeah, so true, right?
Her and sister are obviously not the brightest bears in the woods,
Mhm.
and they're saying lies that are easily proven wrong. They're doing things, and even when they're trying to escape from a lie, like she used pledging and donated in the same context. Like what?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, his bag was black, but it was actually blue. Well, I use blue and black in the same context. That's exactly what
Yeah.
she's saying. It's like, what?
Yeah, it's
So,
insane. The defense arguments are nuts. She's crazy.
it's unreal, man. And the thing what's so crazy about this whole thing, man? I'm still like on pins and needles wondering if Johnny Depp's going to get his justice or not.
Oh
And to
man.
even
At least
think that there's a chance that he might not win the case. Of course, he's already won in public opinion, so that's good enough. But to actually have it on record that he's proven she's a liar and manipulator, that's huge, man. I mean, to think that there's a chance that he might not win this case. Isn't that
Yeah.
amazing to think, like, wow, what has happened to our judicial system that she might actually pull it out or not get not lose the case. I mean, she might not win, but she might not lose it.
Yeah.
It's
That would be a scary thought. Well, hopefully by the time people see this, they'll be saying, it worked out all right in the end, but who knows? But
yeah, just for the record, we're not taking any sides, are we?
Speak for yourself. He's full of shit. Like,
Figure it out. Figure out what if you want to say what side we're on. Figure it out. It's not.
I've noticed that you see all like the content and everyone's like, we're not taking any sides, but blah 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 blah. Nah, not over here. She's guilty as shit. So, anyway, on that note, thanks everybody for watching. If you've had any experience with liars, let us know. It'd be cool to hear what our listeners, our watchers, experiences they've had. Be interesting to hear. Maybe we can talk through some of them on the podcast and stuff. But yeah, let us know. Let us know what you thought about this episode.
If you guys have any ideas, like what else you want us to touch on, like a good one is like fear, how you conquer fear, that kind of stuff. If you guys have any other topics that you'd like to hear, our opinions on, let us know.
Yeah, someone mentioned injuries the other day, so we might cover that soon. Something like that. So, awesome. Thanks everybody. We will talk to you again soon.
Getting some loves right here, right on.